Karrion Kross made his debut on Monday Night Raw in a losing effort against Jeff Hardy, and it really got me thinking when it comes to NXT, because Kross's debut loss, it brought out the same crowd who have been saying the same thing for several years now. The same crowd who cries out that Triple H creates and Vince McMahon kills. The same crowd who says that NXT wrestlers are getting demoted by going to the main roster. The same crowd who say that NXT wrestlers should stay in NXT and, Vince, you're a waste on the main roster and there's no purpose there. And really, it got me thinking a lot about just that, because I've heard that for a long time and I want to weigh in on it because, personally speaking, I feel like I have what I can consider the harsh reality when it comes to NXT. Now, NXT, to make an analogy, NXT, let's look at the NBA and the G League, okay? Or let's look at the Premier League and the Championship. Let's compare things like that, or the MLB and, the minor leagues. This is the example. So you've got the main roster, which is the NBA, the Premier League, the MLB. The main roster of WWE is the top tier, major promotion in the industry. It's the thing that you strive to be. It's where all the best talents are, where all the best skill sets are. It's where all the big stars, have their name, they claim home. Okay, all the big stars are in the major league. Then you have the minor leagues. The minor leagues is where people develop. People in the minor leagues are usually skilled at something, or they have a kind of balanced range of skills where they're good at, they're a jack of all trades but a master of none, so to speak. Whereas in the major leagues, you have masters of trades, and as a result, they're big names. So in NXT, you've got a bunch of guys who are good at some stuff, guys who are good in the ring, guys who are really good bell to bell, guys who have good characters, guys who are okay to good promos. And you've got Karrion Kross, who stands out because, really good aesthetic, good look, got the good act, good theme song. So you've got that. And then you take Kross and go, okay, this guy, I think he should be moved on from the minor leagues. He doesn't belong in the minor leagues. His skill set is just too broad. So Karrion Kross has a great skill set there. He gets moved up to the major leagues, and he becomes a role player out of the gate, okay? And I think that's okay. I think the big thing with NXT in the past number of years is people cry in outrage because a guy doesn't just get taken from the minor leagues and put into the absolute main event scene of the major leagues right away. I think that concept is ludicrous. I don't see why, just because someone was good in the minor leagues, that they right away need to be in the main event of the major leagues. Because let's consider this. As I mentioned before with the major leagues, skill sets are better. People are masters of trades, okay? They're not just good at, a few things, they're masters of certain things. I look at this on the main roster. I look at guys have size on the main roster. Okay, Karrion Kross isn't the only one anymore who's the big, muscled up, jacked guy. There are a number of those guys on the WWE main roster. So Kross isn't just the only one there. Kross isn't the only dark gimmick on the main roster. There are a number of dark gimmicks as well. Okay, Karrion Kross isn't the only one who wrestles a big man style. There are a number of big man type wrestlers. Kross isn't the only one with an intimidating aura. There are a number of guys on the main roster with intimidating auras to go with an array of skill sets. So really, the point I'm making here is that Karrion Kross losing to Jeff Hardy in his first match, and then the wrestling community crying that, oh my god, it's a burial, oh my god, Karrion Kross, it's another Triple H creation, Triple H mastermind creation that Vince McMahon has killed. And I think to myself, okay, yes, WWE writing repackages these NXT guys some of the time. They make some tweaks, make some changes. They come in and right away, they're not just winning the WWE Championship, which this is something that I really want to stress on. Like the fact that, look at someone like Keith Lee. Keith Lee came in and literally in his first match beat Randy Orton at a pay-per-view. Like that's ridiculous, dude. Let's use the NBA analogy for a second. Let's say an NBA player or someone who's just been dominating in the G League comes in and joins the Chicago Bulls, let's say. A guy's been dominating in the G League, they sign with the Bulls, all of a sudden, the coach just goes, we're running all the plays through you, forget our star players, forget our established roster, we're running all the plays through you, you're gonna lead us against James Harden and the Brooklyn Nets this week. What? You know, like people in the wrestling community want guys to be pulled from the minor leagues, like the NBA G League or the championship, and they want them to be the focal point of a main roster, Premier League, NBA team, NBA franchise. I don't understand that. I've never understood that. You've got to give it time, okay? Give it some, growth, like, there's so many people with so many broad skill sets on the main roster. Just because these wrestlers go from making barely 6 figures in NXT developmental around a bunch of people who are good at some things but masters of none, or masters of one thing and pretty much inept at other things, just because they go from that, where it's developmental, 500,000 people are watching it, not much buzz or hype's generated, it's got a very niche audience. When you go from that, the minor leagues, to the NBA, the Premier League, the major leagues, where you've got masters of trades, masters of skill sets, super talented performers everywhere you look, the fact that you're not right away a main event top guy, that's not a burial. That's called reality. That's called being in a league, being in a promotion, being in a thing that you should be in. Okay, no longer is it a big fish in a small pond. It's a big fish in a big pond with other big fish. That's what NXT to the main roster is. Okay, and that's why guys haven't had the most success that they possibly could. That's why guys have come up from NXT who are big shining stars in front of 400 viewers, live at Full Sail, and 500,000 people on USA Network. People have been big there, and then you go to the main roster when you're in front of 2.5 million live viewers every week on TV, several million viewers on YouTube clips, in front of Vince McMahon and all these big name people backstage, and you've got these big talents backstage who have all of the egos and the legacies and the experience and all this kind of stuff. It makes sense. So hopefully the video makes sense. Basically, NXT is minor league, WWE is major league. You can be a massive star in a minor league franchise and fit in seamlessly to being a role player on the major leagues. That's just how life operates. Just because you don't go from star in the minor league to star in the major league doesn't mean it's a burial. That just means you're fulfilling a role and you're doing what your skill set takes you to. So that's going to be the video. I hope you guys have enjoyed. If you have, be sure to like, comment, sub, you know the drill.